Well, we're on map number 4 here. Philadelphia confusion, top left in the blue, and top right you have Boston downsizing in the red. Philadelphia has taken the lead. It is 2-1 in their favor. And their next map, Eichenwalde. Eichenwalde, of course, is going to be your hybrid map. You have to capture the payload before you can start moving it, and it's going to be Philadelphia first on defense. Who are they defending with? Junko or Julik. I called you Junko because I'm playing Danganronpa. I apologize. Junko was in my mind. It is a J name. Julik. What is Philadelphia defending with?
Hi, everyone. Julik here. We're going to stick with the player on the DPS with Junkrat. Quella will be on Zenyatta. Armisha will be on Ryan, followed with Lank on the Zarya. Jarno on McCree, and Radhaz will stick to the Ana play.
A very standard and solid defense build right now coming up from Philadelphia. On attack, if they're sticking to it, they got Ryan, Zarya, Shadow Cub, and Yeti coming in as your tank duo. T11 Brit staying on that Moria. I like to see her back on the Moria. Lord Kron being on the Lucio. They're coming up to the right, to the side. Miglet gets hit and killed by Radhaz, getting slept and then falls. Fantastic snipe. Radhaz also finished off Shadow Cub. That is 2 down already. 3 down for Boston. They're going to back up and try again. A fantastic sleep to make Miglet Boy, who is a Pharah, flying in the air to fall off. Oh, and Miglet properly gets off, noticing that Jarno was on the McCree, and Radhaz knows his number, so I like to see him switch off onto a Sombra. Player going to finish off Miglet Boy as he was trying to flank. He got caught in a trap and is going to get exploded upon. Great trap placement. Jarno not enough. Radhaz again finishing off somebody. Willie, because again, Lank getting Yeti. Ours Miko gets finished off Shadow Club, and another fantastic defense by Philly. Player, don't know if it was needed, but he's going to kind of push them, make sure they are pushed back with a tire. I want to remind people that of the changes that happened a few patches ago to Ana, to why Radhaz is actually getting a lot of these picks. It's not necessarily that he is focusing on damage. It is that if you shoot an Ana bolt through somebody or a team member that is at full health, it'll continue through and hit anybody behind it, which would be an enemy. A lot of ults over here on Philly, but none to see over here on Boston's attack. A Shatter does finish, gets one person on the ground. Yeti on the ground, not enough to finish off. Another Shatter gets Rads on the ground and Jarden, but a fantastic boop up into the air is going to make sure that Shadow Club does not get anybody in with that charge. Lank finishing off Yeti, and right now Willie is here a little too extended. He's going to be trying to run away if he can, getting healed by T-Living Bright, but Quella does finish him off. It's another solid defense coming out here from Philadelphia. Asleep onto the Miglet Boy, but he does get away. So far, Philly is doing a fantastic job.
Especially being able to keep 4 ults online after only using 1 to defend this last attempt by Boston. So great play overall by Philly on the defensive side.
Both shatters were used, so we do have Yeti with a grab coming up online just now. Lord does have a Lucio ult. Midget in the back. Ooh. Oh, the sleep dart almost getting him from Rads. No skins there. It's going to be hack. Rads is hacked. Use the Ana grenade to kind of push him back, but it does allow a team to move forward, and ours Miko just finished up. High noon coming out. It is going to get Rads, Jarno, and player. A huge high noon coming out from Willie. Enough for them to push forward and finally start getting some possible ticks on this. Lank falling down. A huge, you kind of call it a counter to the grab coming from Lank. But, you know, it was shielded by Shadow, enough for Willie to say it's high noon, and gets 3 members of the defending Philly to let them get that first point.
And that was great play by Miglet Boy, because even though it doesn't seem like he did much, he was able to stretch the defensive team Philadelphia by pulling away the healers. I think it was McCree that was also pulled away. And that allowed their Ryan to be taken care of by Shadow. And then the next is...
He's going to try and do it again. Raz. He gets slept! Maybe this boy gets slept, but he does get out of the way. Willie getting player into Shatter. Doesn't allow time for Jarno to get charged. Another charge coming out from ours. Miko not finding purchase anywhere, but nobody's pushing the payload. Willie getting on the payload. Willie does finish off Miko. Quella does finish off Shadow Cub. Both Ryan's down as the fight continues to push forward towards the bridge. Lank getting hit out of mech by Yeti. Fire in the hole coming out from Philly, looking for somebody, but players is going to be coming forward. It does get Willie and Lord.
Heavy value there by that tire from
Miglet Boy getting the pick onto Rads in the background. Both healers were down for Philly. They're going to have to regroup. It is just player Miko and Lank up here. And we're going to see a lot of the Jarno is here as well. Both healers will be coming back soon. Miglet here on the side. A Shatter gets Yeti on the ground. Not enough to damage him, however. T11 Biscuit does get far down to Jarno, shooting from the high ground. Player being a very aggressive Junkrat. Willie winning that McCree fight, making sure that he gets up in there. A EMP coming out from Mega Boy allows for Quella to be destroyed. Willie does finish off player. Osmiko does charge through the Lord, and a Fire Strike does finish off Shadow Club. A grab with no real follow-up. It was only T11 Brit and Yeti up there. Willie was on the other side and wasn't able to do a lot of damage, but he does finish off Lank's mech. Raz just fought a T11 Biscuit. T11 Biscuit finishing, cleaning some people up. Lank getting Willie, but it's Yeti who finishes off Lank, and right now it is Boston continuing to push forward around the bend to the bridge.
That was a little embarrassing, but Baby Diva taking care of Willie on that last play. But still, Baby Diva unable to survive anything else. And we have Boston here pushing up the payload.
Now Jarno is in the very decisive spot of any McCree, or here comes a high noon, very high thing, and does get just Lord Kid enough to do, and gets Shadow Club out of mech. Yeti just finished him off. Players coming out. The other high noon coming out does get Quella down. But right now, it's a Philadelphia winning defense right now.
Yeah, very good trades from both teams, and does stop the Boston attack.
A player using another tire, trying to find purchase on someone. Shadow Club is going to find Yeti. He was going to go for Shadow Club out of mech, but he did get bubbled by Yeti. Yeti not having her personal shield up in time. Does fall to the tire. Miglet Boy getting taken out by Jarno. That's another pushback, another stall stagger. They need to wait for their tanks to come up forward, but it's not Miglet's Boy's fault. He was just caught out by the stun and hit into the face. So now they're
switching to Junkrat.
I love there being a change. Player being on the Junkrat up on the high ground. And can be finished off by Yeti, who sees that he's low, dives up forward along with Shadow Cub to finish him off. Moving around the side. A Shatter gets stunned by Willie. He does get mana boosted, however, but not a huge follow-up that could happen. Yeti dives in the back. A ult coming out from the defending team and not able to get anybody. Miglet Boy does get Lank out of mech. Jarno falls to Yeti. Arsmiko getting the Shadow Cub out of mech. Miglet Boy finish off Quella. A huge and a grenade on the point by Kraz, trying to stall as best he can, and it's just him. And right now that's going to be 5 members moving forward on from Boston. Willie does get player while he was in the air trying to stall as a Junkrat, and it's going to be a stagger onto Miko. As he pushed forward still, Jarno getting staggered as well. They're going to get some free meters right now, but a fantastic back and forth push to allow Boston to get to that next point in another minute and a half so they can get to the end.
That was a great stun by Willie. Crucial stun against the Reinhardt, canceling his Shatter. And now he has ult, waiting to see another one along with his bomb from Diva.
Bomb coming out, finishes off player around the corner. They only have one pushing forward. High Noon gets eaten and just not able to do anything. Jarno's High Noon unfortunately falling down. Both Coalescence coming out from both Moira's. High Noon coming out from Boston. Again, not bombing purchase. Right now, it looks like Philadelphia is getting whittled down. Players. Tire does get T11 Brit. He couldn't be able to come forward. The other tire coming out from Miglet, trying to find somebody. Gets it. Lank, who is very high charge, and they're going to continue pushing forward. It does look like he's pushing onto a Shatter. Does get Miglet Boy and Willie on the ground. Willie falls. Miglet gets away. Charge from Miko, trying to do some damage. Gets in a trap, but enough to finish off Miglet Boy just in range of his hammer. And that's going to be a hold so far from Philly. I thought Boston had it.
Approximately 15 seconds on the clock for Boston here. Miko with a great ult and play follow-up on the defensive side.
Willie has switched on to a Tracer. We have kind of a dive comp. Miglet going to be a little. There is no ults for the attacking Boston team, but Yeti dives forward. Lank being very charged up. Shields down. They are on the point. Miglet Boy winning the Junkrat fight against player. We have a Doomfist charging up a fist, not going to find him with a fantastic grab that gets him in. It's Boston in the hole, but not enough follow-up. They get bunked into the air, so they can't swing their hammer. Mikos falls down to T11 Brit's Coalescence. Jarno does get Miglet down with a punch. T11 Brit just finished off Lank with the damage, or a Meteor Strike coming down just to kind of push them off the point. Not enough to kill anybody. Willow just finished off Quilla. A Maywall on the point trying to help them off. A Diva ult coming out from Boston just to kind of stagger and keep them back. Raz does finish off Willie. Raz does get the ult back for the armor coming up. A Shatter getting getting 3 members down from Boston. A tire coming out from Miglet gets finished off Raz. Arzmigo does get Skilled and Break as he's on the ground. Both teams are fighting on the point within 4 meters of the end. It is contested. They need to make sure they keep somebody on the point at all times. Yet he does fall down to Miko. And then Jarno just charging up, pushes back the Lucio, but not enough to hit him to a wall to damage him. Player finishing off Shadow Cub out of his mech. Quota is getting lowered, carried off from a... Jarno finish off Willie. Miko did a charge on Shadow Cub out of mini mech, and they are going to be able to hold within 4 meters. Good defense, Philly.
Great reaction by Philly, swapping to the stalling heroes. We had Jarno, Doomfist, Player on May, and Lang switching from Azaria into Winston to get to the point faster. Great play overall. The hero swaps were crucial for the defensive side Philly.
Absolutely.
Let's see how Boston holds here on the defensive on the first point.
A lot of big ults coming out from both Ryan's and Zarya's that were either canceled or not being able to be followed upon. Shatters came out that I saw 3 people down. They were only to pick off 1 just barely. A grab coming out, but no real follow-up because they were booped into the air, I believe, by a Junkrat bomb. Not to mention the Willy stun on the Reinhardt, who is about to get a very big shatter. There was no shield up at that time, and then Ana boosted. He's essentially a slow-moving Reinhardt with a big hammer who is Ana boosted, but not able to capitalize. 2 ults basically wasted thanks to a well-timed stun from Willy.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had both McCrees use their ult, and both of them were canceled on this last point. So the ult usage that were essentially denied, but it was equally denied on both sides.
Now I'm a little confused.
Self-awareness.
I could have sworn I just saw Boston use a spray for London. It was right here. I saw it. I don't know who that was, but I'm watching you. You are Boston downsizing. Why are you not using your spray? Anyway, on defense for Boston. Miglet Boy going to be on Genji. Lord Kron going to be on a Zenyatta. Willie going to stick on that McCree. Shadow going to be on your Diva to help be back and forth to the point. Yeti going to hold the ground with a Orisa. And T11 Brit not going to be on a Warrior for main healer. Instead going to the Mercy.
And I'm going to give you the lineup for the attack after this pause. If I'm not mistaken, that should be coming up any second now.
We have a pause coming up? I have a chat hidden, so if there's a pause.
Yes, they are. We have Boston requesting a pause.
Not really going forward, but we do have Miglet Boy is taken out by Lank. Player has flanked around very well. Jarno in the air as the Pharaoh. Lord Kron getting taken out by Player. T11 Brit does get Willie back up after Jarno finished him off. T11 Brit falling down to Player with a punch. Because of her rezzing, she was very slow. Lank getting Shadow Cub out of mech, and Yeti finished off as well. Mini Diva also finished off, and Jarno does finish off Willie. They are trying to do a pause, is that correct?
No response from anyone on the mod side. Philly did not stop, obviously. Boston is not requesting a pause anymore. We'll keep an eye on that.
Willie has switched off onto the Widow. Miglet getting taken down early, trying to do a lot of pressure up in the top. Jarno getting healed very well. Not going to be picked off by that Winston.
Oh.
Yeti going to be jumping off or knocked off, and it's going to be Shadow who's finished off Jarno in the air. No ults necessarily online, but 3 of them will be online towards the end of this next encounter for Philadelphia. No ults to speak of on the defending Boston side. The closest thing you're going to see is a self-destruct. Player finishing off T-Living Rip and Meteor Strike to try and get out of the way. He has half health. Comes down behind enemy lines, trying to do a lot more damage, getting a lot of combos in the back, but not finding purchase. Jarno getting Miglet Boy and again coming forward to try and help. Player does finish off Lord. Willie does finish off Player, who has been damaging a lot of his teammates in the back. Jarno getting tickled back as far as he can. Ars Miko does get Shadow Cub out of mech. Enough time for Quilla to finish her off with a Mercy pistol. Quilla coming forward on a Valkyrie to get Jarno back up, who was taken out by Willie. Is simply T-Living Brett, who is switched back onto the Moira. Lank does get Yeti, and Jarno does take out Willie on the Widow just before Wiglet does finish him off out of the sky. And right now, it looks like Philadelphia is doing a faster second cap right now, unless they're coming forward. Shadow coming forward to try and stall the point as best as possible just before, again, 4 meters seems to be the number here, as they move forward to try and stall the point. A shatter gets Miglet Boy and Lord and T-Living Break on the ground, but not enough to follow up. Oh. It does make a Zenyatta have to use his ult to keep him alive. Yeti does finish off Lank, and Rad's falling off. Justice from Jarno gets Shadow Kid and Miglet Boy, but it left time for Willie to line up a shot. And that is, they were able to hold it as Boston just at the last second.
Yeah, there was 2 ults invested by the Philly attack. But overall, if it's not just me, it feels like a very odd offensive play by Philly here. We've seen battles happening all across the map, not specifically on the
Player
payload.
diving in well before his team was around the corner to try and stall. And does it taken out by Lord Kid. High Noon coming out from Miglet Boy. They are hiding under the map. That is going to be a High Noon zoning. Willie does finish off Jarno in the air. Well sniped, sir. And it's going to be Armiko, who was around the corner, out of position. The rest of his team has decided to back up. But I would like to see wait for player. I believe that push by Philadelphia could have gone a little better if it was timed slightly differently. We needed the main force of Philadelphia to come around the corner, bring presence and pressure up towards the front before player move forward, because then there's nobody else for Boston to focus except the Doomfist in their backline.
Right, players being a little aggressive.
Meteor strike, and it's gonna Space Jam gets Willie, Lord, and Teal, Lovin, Britt down. Yet he gets punched at the end. Player also finished off Biglet Boy. That is a 5-kill, 6-kill the entire team. Well done, Space Jam. If those of you who don't know, it is called Space Jam because it's like a slam dunk. Grab comes out, Meteor strike comes out, slam dunk. Space Jam. Yet he does get Jarno as they're pushing forward. And they're moving on to point number 3. They don't have to get all the way. They have to get within 4 meters of that final point. Willie gets Arsmiko because he has switched off to the Doomfist. Player winning that Doomfist fight, punching Willie into the wall. And it's going to be a pushback. It was evenly matched. It was 5v5. Both Doomfists had fallen, but they are deciding to back up and regroup to kind of deal what's going on. Right? Just player trying to dash up his, get behind to regroup with his team.
Great defensive play here by Boston, able to get the Genji that was staggering, who's now back online. They're gonna go ahead.
Shatter coming down, getting 3 members of Boston down on the ground. A reaction time to be proud of. A Zenyatta ult to try and keep the rest of his team members alive. A Diva ult's gonna finish off player. It wasn't enough. The Zenyatta ult was not enough to keep the charging Reinhardt from killing one of his team members. So Willie does push back Arsmiko, and right now Boston is again doing a great defense.
Yeah, Boston investing 2 ults there on this last defensive play. They use the Zenyatta and the Diva Bomb.
Now, if I look at their repertoire, they have 5 out of 6 ults that are online. Here comes one of them. Meteor Strike. Willie just finished having a break, and it's going to be a Meteor Strike that hits Lord Krong. A Blade also coming out. Coalescence coming out from defending Boston. Genre gets get Willie. Player does get Miglet. And right now it is a Valkyrie from Quella trying to get a Res back on Arsmiko to bring more presence up here to Philly. Genre gets Shadow out of mech. They're going to continue pushing forward. Arsmiko charging forward. Yeti is finished off by Rads before the charge for Miko actually would have charged the monkey or pinned the monkey. And right now they're going to have enough time to push forward just a little bit. They just have over 2 minutes left to get around this corner and just that little bit more. They have a Meteor Strike. They have a High Noon as they're trying to be on the high ground. Here comes the contesting Yeti on trying to hold the point as best they can. A charge from Miko. Meteor Strike. Jarno just take out 2 leaving Brit. Willie does take down Jarno with it, and Willie also finishes out Quilla. That's the main healer for Philadelphia. Willie takes down the Raz. Raz again, unfortunately, then falls to Shadow Cub, and it's going to be a hold from Boston. They're just around the corner within meters, 5 meters to the point that they have to get to win this map.
Approximately a minute later, we have Lank almost with another grab. Incredible.
Fantastic grab to be hopefully comboed with a Shatter coming out. Is going to get the Yeti on the ground. High Noon coming out from Miglet. That Jarno finished getting the High Noon back to Miglet, but Miglet does get player with that High Noon. So it's 1 for 1. T-Liver and Brit finishing off Lank. Coalescence coming out from Boston. Arsmiko falls down. Rads falls down. This Coalescence is a huge Kamehameha wave pushing back Philadelphia once again. They have 1 minute and 9 seconds left to get those few little points, and Miglet Boy has switched on to a Hammond.
Yes, he has. And that last defensive hold cost them approximately 3 ults on the Boston side. So let's see how they defend here only with Lord Zenyatta's ult.
Now I'm wondering what happened with Jarno, because he just either got fell off or booped off because he was not able to get back, and that is a huge stall that Philadelphia did not need. He does have Blade. There is Grab, Blade. There is, however, Lord is going to be the deciding factor on this next ult combination if he can keep that Transcendence and not be picked off. Meteor Strike coming forward and landing. I don't know where he's landing. He's in the back. He gets both healers for Boston. Teal and Lord fall down to the Meteor Strike. A shatter comes out as well. That's able to help but a lot of people on the ground. Arsmigo gets Willie. Link does get Midget. Biglet does get a fantastic punch to the face for Shadow, and they're moving forward. A stalling grab to keep Zenyatta on the ground, but unfortunately Team Living Great was able to dash forward as Moira. A Zenyatta ult coming out to try and stall as best they can. 6 seconds, we're going to overtime. Meteor Strike coming out, it's gonna get Rads in the face. They're on the point. We have the Hamster is doing a great job being a ring around the Rosie. Coalescence finished off the Coil. Marlon is finished off Lord. Jarno getting finished off by by Willie. Player getting Shadow out of mech. Mika gets finished off by Willie. Lank does get Willie in the end. Another Meteor Strike finishing off a Shadow Cub. Yeti getting punched in the face. It is just the Hamster here. Playing ring around the Rosie, stalling! He's still stalling! He's still alive! He's allowing Boston to come forward and continue to defend! And he has enough to do a minefield to push back even more of Philadelphia's push. Willie getting Raz, players getting finished off by the mind game. Oh my gosh, they have 3 meters to go. Quilla getting Raz back up on his feet. Angry Monkey trying to push them back. A Shatter getting Shadow on the ground. Another Meteor Strike directly on the point. Finish off Raz. Jarno does have a blade to finish off Team Living Brit. Lank does fall down onto Yeti. Jarno still with the blade gets punched in the face by Willie. It is Yank on the point. It is Player on the point for Philly, and they're trying to keep it alive. Nerf, this is going to be coming out. That's going to get Player. Willie does get Yank in the mid, and it's a hold for Boston. A crazy hold. It is now tied again. Philadelphia gets 2. Boston gets 2. We're going to game 5.
Miglet boy. Huge stall here.
Oh man.
Meter, my goodness.
They couldn't deal with ring around the Rosie. So many Doomfist ults on the last minute alone. This huge triple space jam into a punch in the Yeti, helping to finish off the rest of the team. That was a team kill. These teams are so closely matched. It wasn't that Philly didn't do great. It's just that Boston was able to do the hold. They were within just 4 to 5 meters of getting that, but they were able to tie it up. Both Doomfists doing fantastic plays back and forth. Again, the stall by a Hammond. I was like, is Hammond meta yet? But people don't necessarily know how to deal with him, so he was able to do what I call ring around the Rosie forever. And they weren't able to finish him off. He only had maybe 200 of his 600 health or 500 health left.
He just has so much HP. It's unbelievable. And the way you can stall too, you're technically almost unstoppable, literally. And it's just amazing play. I like the hero. I can't play it personally, but
my favorite quick play hero.
Yeah, it was great play by Miglet there. Essentially got them that last.
They gave them enough time. It was maybe only 5 seconds, but that was 5 seconds is all they need, because then they had Zenyatta come in with the Transcendence to continue to stall, to sustain the defense of Boston, to allow them to hold against Philly. I'm looking forward to even the next time I get to watch these teams go against each other, because it's some exciting Overwatch.
Exciting Overwatch, exciting place, especially when you have great players on both sides that are able to have a high skill gap when it comes to Doomfist, when it comes to what's his name, Wrecking Ball.
Yes.
Those are the heroes that you want to see, because they're so fun to watch. And when both teams can provide that factor, it's just incredible.
Absolutely. And where are we going again? To map 5. I need a break.